Welcome to Becoming with Adeola Azaria. There are moments in life when nothing is falling apart, but something inside you knows you're not fully aligned. You're showing up, you're doing what is expected, you're answering the messages, keeping the peace, carrying the roles, smiling when needed. But quietly, somewhere beneath everything, there's a question. Is this really me? Today, we're talking about self awareness, not as overthinking, not as criticizing yourself, not as analyzing every part of your life until you feel exhausted, but as the compass that always helps you return to yourself. Because sometimes becoming does not begin with a big breakthrough. Sometimes it begins with one honest moment of noticing. Amadiola, let's begin. Most people do not lose themselves loudly. It does not always happen through one big mistake, one dramatic decision, or one obvious turning point. Sometimes it happens slowly, one automatic yes at a time, one swallowed feeling at a time, one ignored discomfort at a time, one I'm fine when something inside you knows you're not fine. One version of yourself created to be accepted, another version created to keep the peace, another version created to survive, another version created because someone needed you to be easier to understand. And then one day, you look around your own life and wonder, how did I get here? Not because you failed, but because you moved without a compass. This is why self awareness matters a lot. It's not about becoming obsessed with yourself, it is about learning to notice yourself. How you respond under pressure, what drains you, what brings you back to life, what keeps repeating, what you keep calling normal, even though it keeps costing you peace. Self awareness is the quiet practice of listening to what your life has been trying to tell you. Imagine walking with confidence. You have good shoes, you have energy, you're moving quickly. People can see your progress. They may even clap for you. But there's one problem: you never checked the direction. No compass, no pause, no moments where you asked, where am I actually going? This is what happens when we confuse movement with direction. We can be busy but misaligned, productive but disconnected, needed but unseen, praised but privately unsure. And sometimes the world celebrates our speed without asking if we're traveling towards a life that is truly ours. A lack of self awareness does not make you broken, it makes you unguided. And being unguided is not the end, it is an invitation to pause, to look inward, to tell yourself the truth. There was a season when I thought clarity would arrive loudly. I expected a breakthrough, a bold sign, a moment where everything suddenly made sense. But that is not how clarity came. Clarity came through repetition, the same kind of conversation leaving me tired, the same kind of responsibility making me feel alive, the same kind of environment making me shrink, the same quiet discomfort after saying yes to something I already knew I should have declined. Nothing dramatic, nothing cinematic, just patterns. And the patterns kept returning as if life was gently asking, are you seeing this? At first, I explained it away. I'm just tired. It's not that deep. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. I will manage. Or your body has a way of continuing the conversation even when your mouth has ended it. The heaviness, the tightness, the loss of energy, the quiet irritation, the relief when something gets cancelled that you had convinced yourself you really wanted. Those things are not always drama. Sometimes they are data, they have messages, they are clues. And when I stopped dismissing them, I began to understand something important. Self awareness rarely shouts, it whispers through repetition. And if you're always rushing, you may miss the whisper. Self awareness sounds beautiful until it starts telling the truth. Because once you see a pattern, you cannot fully unsee it. You can ignore it, you can postpone it, you can distract yourself, but somewhere inside, you know when a yes is not honest. You know when a relationship keeps shrinking you. You know when you're performing peace, while resentment is growing quietly underneath. You know when a role looks impressive but does not feel aligned. You know when you're calling something loyalty, but it is actually fear of disappointing people. That is why self awareness can feel uncomfortable. It removes the comfort of pretending, but it does not come to shame you. It comes to return you to yourself. It asks gentle but honest questions. Why did that affect me so deeply? Why do I keep returning to what drains me? Why am I more comfortable being needed than being known? Why does rest make me feel guilty? Why does this version of success not feel like peace? These questions do not demand quick answers. They ask for honesty. And honesty, when held with grace, can become the beginning of freedom. Michelle Obama's story gives us a beautiful picture of self awareness. Before the White House, before the global stage, before the books, before the speeches, and the world knowing her name, she had already built what many people would call a successful life. Princeton, Harvard Law, a respected career, achievement was there, but achievement does not always mean alignment. One of the powerful parts of her story is that she was willing to question even the things that looked impressive, and that takes courage. Because sometimes failure is not the hardest thing to examine, success is. When people are clapping for a version of you, it can be difficult to admit that something inside you is asking for something different. It can be hard to say, this looks good, but does it feel honest? That is self awareness. The ability to pause inside a life that others admire and still ask, is this truly mine? Michelle Obama reminds us that becoming is not just about rising, it is about recognizing yourself as you rise. It is about knowing your voice, your values, your boundaries, and what you must not lose while the world is watching. Because the world would hand you scripts. Family may hand you one. Culture may hand you one. Success may hand you one too. Self awareness is the moment you stop reading every script handed to you and begin asking, does this line belong to me? Here's the shift. Self awareness is not judging yourself, it is orienting yourself. A compass does not insult you when you're facing the wrong direction, it simply shows you where you are. It says, this is not to embarrass you, to guide you. That is what self awareness does. It helps you locate yourself. It helps you ask, am I acting from fear, habits, pressure, love, purpose, or truth? Does this room expand me or does it require me to shrink? Does this yes align with who I am becoming or does it only protect who people expect me to be? Am I tired because life is full or because I keep abandoning myself? Self awareness does not make every decision easy, but it makes your decisions more honest. And honest decisions, even when they're difficult, carry a different kind of peace. Now, come with me into the becoming kitchen. Today, the kitchen is quiet, not empty, quiet. There's a difference. Empty feels lonely. Quiet feels like something is finally able to speak. It is early morning, the kind of morning before the world starts asking too much from you. The light is soft, pale gold touches the counter. The kettle hums gently in the corner. A bowl waits on the wooden table. A favorite mug sits beside it. A small journal lies open, not demanding anything, just waiting. There's fruit on the counter. Mango, berries, banana, something fresh, something bright. Warm whole grain bread rises from the toaster, and the room begins to smell like morning. Simple, steady, unhurried. Today, we're preparing the breakfast of clarity because before a meaningful day begins, the body needs nourishment. And before a meaningful life moves forward, the soul needs orientation. Our ingredients: one generous serving of honesty, a bowl of quiet reflection, fresh slices of curiosity, one spoonful of humility, a handful of patience, a drizzle of intention, a little courage, and enough grace to keep awareness from becoming punishment. Then, how do we prepare this? First, set the table. Not for performance, for presence. Set the space. Move yesterday's noise out of the way. The pressure, the opinions, the expectations. The version of yourself you performed because the room required it. Clear it gently. Now place the bowl down. This bowl is your inner life. Not the polished version. Not the public version. Not the I'm fine version. The real one. The one that knows. Pour in honesty. Slowly. Start with one true sentence. I am tired. I feel unsane. I want something different. I said yes because I was afraid. I keep returning to what drains me. I'm more peaceful when I stop pretending. One honest sentence is enough to begin. Now add quiet reflection. Let it settle over the honesty like warm milk over oats. Do not rush to fix it. Do not rush to explain it. Let the truth soften enough for you to receive it. Now, slice curiosity. Thin slices. Gentle slices. Ask questions that do not attack you. Instead of what is wrong with me, ask what is this showing me? Instead of why am I like this, ask when did I learn to respond this way? Instead of why can't I just move on, ask what part of me still needs to be heard. Curiosity changes the flavor of awareness. Without curiosity, self-awareness becomes criticism. With curiosity, it becomes discovery. Now sprinkle in humility. Humility says, I may not know myself as well as I thought. Not with shame, with openness. Because some versions of you were built for survival. Some were built for approval. Some were built to keep peace. Some helped you get through seasons you did not know how to survive. Humility allows you to look at those versions and say, thank you for helping me survive. But are you still helping me become? Now had patience. Because clarity is not instant. You do not understand yourself fully in one morning, one journal entry, or one honest conversation. Self-awareness is slower. At first, you notice the pattern after it has happened. Then you notice it while it is happening. And one day, with grace, you notice it before you repeat it. That is growth. That is orientation becoming wisdom. Finally, drizzle intention over everything. Ask, what kind of person am I becoming? What kind of life supports that becoming? What kind of yes aligns with it? What kind of no protects it? What am I still carrying that belongs to an older version of me? Now pour the tea. Wrap your hands around the mug. Feel the warmth. Let your body receive the message. I am here. I am listening. I do not have to abandon myself today. Take the first bite slowly. Notice the warmth, the softness, the sweetness of the fruits, the steadiness of the bread, the calm of beginning again. Notice how different the morning feels when you have not abandoned yourself before the day has even begun. That is the quiet gift of self-awareness. It does not make life perfect. It helps you arrive as yourself. That is what self-awareness feels like when it is held with grace. Not harsh, not loud, not heavy, steady. A breakfast that prepares you to move through the day without leaving yourself behind. You do not need more movements. You need more orientation because speed without self-awareness can take you very far in the wrong direction. Before we end, I want you to hold this gently. Awareness does not rush you. It returns you. Before you go, I want you to pause for a moment. Not to fix yourself, not to judge yourself, just to notice what feels heavy, what feels alive. What have you been calling normal that may actually be draining you? What have you been calling too much that may actually be part of your truth? Self-awareness begins there, in the quiet honesty of noticing. So this week, before you say yes, before you explain yourself, before you keep walking in a direction you never consciously chose, pause and ask, is this aligned with who I am becoming? That one question can become a compass. And a compass does not walk the journey for you, but it can keep you from abandoning yourself on the way. Thank you for being here. Until next time, like I always say, keep becoming.